Welcome back, everyone, to this week's Priestess Rise Up transmission. I'm so delighted to connect with you. And as you may or may not know, this whole month is about the courageous, radical, revolutionary, not for the faint of heart journey of self love. And so, any beliefs, any burdens, any judgments that you may have about self love, not because they came innately from you, but because our world has really created this distortion on around self love, so that often we dismiss it. And so I'm here to reclaim that because that is part of the priestess path. So if you're new to my work, my name is Lisa Espinosa, and I'm here to help you align with your priestess journey, with your priestess path. And for me, what that means is that you are here as a channel of unconditional love for yourself and for others. That's what it is. It's that simple and that powerful. And so these weekly transmissions are to support that journey, because everything around us can tell us that we're a little nutty, or that this isn't important, or that there's something else more important that we have to tend to before we really commit to this. And so today we're really going to talk about the present moment, the self-love, the love and the nurturing, the compassion and grace, the mercy that is available to us in the present moment. And so I would love to know who's here if you want to share. And I know sometimes technology is a little interesting, and if I don't mention your name, is that I don't see it till after I post a video and I'm like, oh, that person was there and that person was there. But if you can write in the chat who's here, I would love to know and where you're joining us from. And of course, I know many of you watch the replay, so feel free to share in the comments. And so the present moment, why is that so important? Well, I don't know. Hey, Christina, it's so good to see you. I'm not sure how your week is going or how your month is going, but I know that I'm going through a lot of expansion and growth and up-leveling. But the interesting thing about that is that often it doesn't feel like that. It might feel challenging, or like you're sorting through a lot of heavy emotion, or like you're revisiting stuff. Hey, Stephanie, I just saw your little thing on Instagram. Anyway, beautiful. So it might seem, so when we're up leveling, when we're expanding, when we're actually ready to go through a breakthrough, it often feels like we're going backwards. And so that's what I've been feeling this week and these days, like on all levels. And there's so many, as spiritual teachers, wellness professionals, therapists, healers, whatever your label is, whatever it is, I know that you are here. You've already been helping people. You've already been of such great service. And yet you're here for more. And so when we're in that place of divine service, we're always on an accelerated journey, even when it seems to be going very, very slow. And so as I've been, what I was going to say to finish the thought earlier was that when you're on that path, there's a lot of decisions to be made. That's one of the things that I noticed the most that has changed for me, being in this field for 13 years and before that being a middle school teacher for 10 years, is that the more I commit to this path, the more accelerated my journey, the more decisions I have to make. And decision making can bring on this path of connecting to your soul. Hello, Destiny, welcome. And being a priestess here on the earth, whether you use that label or a different one, you're basically consecrating your decisions to a higher will, whatever you call that, the universe, nature, a higher power, love, God, the divine goddess, whatever it is. And so because of that, a lot of times let me rephrase that even actually more accurately. The decisions we make are made from this quantum perspective that sometimes doesn't make sense. So what does that mean? It means that you might be facing a decision and your heart is telling you, yes, this is the decision. But your brain and your intellect and your logical mind and maybe people around you are telling you, no, that doesn't make sense. That isn't logical. I should wait. I should put it off. I should do this first. That's what makes logical sense. And yet, when we're on this path, what becomes the most important guide and barometer is our heart, is our intuition that speaks to us through our body, is the present moment. And so yesterday I had a healing session, I as a client. And this is one of, I've shared before in other videos how important, what a commitment it is for me to have my monthly sessions, even though intellectually I could give all sorts of reasons why I shouldn't do that. I don't have time, it's a lot of money, so on and so on and so on. But I know I've been doing this long enough that I know that I have to commit to that. So I went to this session, and in the session, through this kind of inner journey, this really powerful image came, and I'm actually wearing with Hathor, that ascended master Hathor. If you're not familiar with her, that's okay. She's from the Egyptian cosmology. I very much resonate with her. And it was this image of me with her, walking with her. And she was guiding me through different initiations, right? And these initiations, right? I've talked about this before. What's an initiation? It's when we're moving from one level of understanding, one level of mastery to another. But again, like I said earlier, sometimes it doesn't feel that way. When you're going through an initiation, you're not thinking, wow, I'm becoming a master. This is so awesome. I'm ready for this up leveling. Usually what you're thinking is, when is this going to be over? Why am I still repeating this? Why do I still feel stuck? Why are all these emotions coming up? That's usually what we tend to feel. And so Hathor was walking with me in this, kind of like shamanic vision I was having, and that this healer was creating the space for me to have. And there was a lot of things, but this is a specific thing I want to share. There was a pit of snakes. Okay. There was like this pit with a bunch of snakes in there. And she said to me, jump in. And it was like, because it was Hathor, I was like, okay, it's like, and this is what was interesting. So this is what my healer perceived. I internally was having all of this inner conflict, like, how do I say this? I was trying to be present, but there were all these parts of me that were like thinking about this and worrying about that and trying to figure this out. And even with the healing, I was like, ooh, I wonder what this is clearing, all of this. And I kept wanting to come back to the moment. And so when Hathor said, jump into this pit of snakes, it wasn't as a punishment. It was like this understanding that as I did that, these snakes, on the one hand, it was terrifying. Again, this is in my inner vision. On the other hand, there was no room for anything but being in the present moment. If I wanted to master that initiation, there was no time for, what should I do? What do I do here? What if that snake does that? It was like this total present moment awareness. And you might have had experiences like this, not necessarily in a pit of snakes, but that's a metaphor for other things. I know I've had those moments in my life where initiations where things are so chaotic or even terrifying that there's no space for fear. It's like in that instant, you're just acting. You're just moving through it. And then later, maybe you freak out, or later, maybe there's grief or sadness or panic or all of that. But in the moment, it's just you're so present. So that's what this pit of snakes was. It was like, as I was just totally present with the snakes, they were my allies and we were creating all these beautiful things. And so I knew what a gift that was for me, because as I've been making all of these decisions in my business and in the way I serve the world, and I know you're making a lot of decisions as well, I've been in this battle with myself, with these like intellectual parts of me that are like, this doesn't make sense. No, no, no. And my heart saying, no, this is exactly the right path. And although I've been on that journey for so long that in some ways it's become easier, the stakes become higher each time, right? So my ego can convince me, is very convincing, that, oh, no, 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 but this is really, you can't risk this. This is too much. So don't pay attention to your intuition or heart stuff. That's for other smaller things. And yet, if I'm standing here, sitting here, if I'm teaching my classes and working with my clients and writing a whole book about this, right? Priestess Rise Up, that would be really hypocritical for me to be sharing all these teachings and then have these like exceptions that I'm putting on myself, right? This is my initiation. And so today, when I took a walk, I was just like, okay, Hathor, I'm like jumping in the pit of snakes. And it brought me, so I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it was like, brought me so much peace as I was like, yep, I'm in that, just like that present moment awareness. And I could remember other times in my life where I've had that. I mean, I even remember, this summer, Greg and we were driving back from Albuquerque, I think it was. And anyway, I was driving, I took a wrong turn. I was in some town I'd never heard of. Anyway, I somehow got into the wrong traffic lane. Like all these trucks and cars were coming towards me. Now, I have a lot of nervousness, can have a lot of nervousness when I'm driving, because very young in my life, I was in a lot of, not me as a driver, other people, I was in a lot of very, very scary car crashes. Like literally where people would see the car and think whoever was in there must have died. And yet I didn't. So I have a lot of nervousness. And yet here I was driving, I turned, all these cars were coming towards me. My husband was panicking, of course. He was like, and I completely, it was like I was so peaceful, very unlike me in a car, completely like just total peace, joy, swerved, somehow went over this thing and got on the right lane. Like it was it was like being in that pit of snakes. It was a complete present moment awareness. And, afterwards, we were driving and I was kind of like, almost like gleefully blissful. And my husband was like, what the heck? But I mean, he was happy we hadn't died, but he was also like, how did you not freak out? Because he knows how nervous I get. Like any little thing, a truck passes by, I can kind of jump in the car. So again, this is what we're being initiated to, right? And obviously, I'm not in that place 100% of the time at all, even close to that. And yet, having that intention more and more as we navigate these big decisions, as you put yourself out there in a more vulnerable way, as you step out of your comfort zone, as you risk looking awkward or looking foolish or people judging you, because this will include all of that. What will be a self-loving, nurturing practice is practicing that present moment awareness. So we're going to do that together. And so when I came back from my walk, because I was like, okay, how do I take this into my day? And I just was walking, just breathing and really connecting to my breath. And every time my parts tried to go to the future, I was like, no, come back to this moment, come back to my body. What do I need to know and do right now? I'm also experiencing a lot of physical pain right now. That's what I mean. I'm going through an initiation on all levels, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, for sure. So physical pain that has no explanation, like no logical explanation. So that, in a way, physical pain can also be such a teacher of present moment awareness, right? And so, because it's like I feel the physical pain in my body, and because I've had this experience before, I have practice, even though my parts want to go to like, what is it? How do I fix it? Why is this happening? What if this gets worse? What if, I'm getting ready to travel to Phoenix in 2 days? What if it doesn't get better? All of that stuff. But I've gone through this before, right? So I can come back, right? It's like childbirth, like when you go through natural childbirth and you have to not panic about the next contraction. It took me 5 babies to figure that out, even though I had wonderful midwives. Each pregnancy, I was so blessed with that it was still, that was such an important lesson for me for life, that I had to just be with that one contraction, because the next one might be more intense or might not be more intense. And if I was bracing myself for like the next one, it was causing so much suffering, so much more pain. And so we're going to step into this present moment together. And whatever your soul, whatever piece of this, when we end this transmission, you can take into your life, because this is meant to be practical. Whatever speaks to you from this, whatever, when we go into that moment, right? Because when we do it together, we ground it, not only for us, but for the world, right? We're here not just for us, we're here in service to the planet. And so a couple of things I want to show you. I pulled 3 cards. First one, step into the spotlight. Look at this. Step into the spotlight. It says you have a message that the world needs to hear. It's time to share your wisdom. And you all, many of you have seen my many other transmissions where I talk about your soul spotlight. This is like such a perfect illustration of that. So this is saying step into the spotlight. You are being guided to step into the spotlight. And let me tell you, this is going to get more intense, for lack of a better word, in the coming years. Like there's just, in some ways right now, it's kind of like where you've been climbing a mountain, and then you stop and rest, which I know might seem like, how is this rest? Because I'm going through all this, but I'm aware of that, because there's going to be an up-leveling, because so many people have so much need. And because we have been going through initiations for so long in our lives, we've gone through so many dark nights of the soul already. We are the Sherpas, right? We are the midwives. We are the beacons of light, not because we're better, not because we're special even, because that's our divine mission. And we said yes to it. And so this is really, really important. So the other 2 cards are Divine Mother, nurturing, compassion, and grace. Look at this beautiful image. So I'm sharing this with you because in the meditation, we're going to use these. And so here we have the Divine Mother, the Sacred Mother. I always, often visualize her as Mother Mary, but you can visualize her as any being. But here is the Sacred Mother, right? Because she knows what your spotlight is about, what you're here to share vulnerably and authentically. And so when we step into this place of present moment, we invite this Divine Mother with us. And then the last card, and I will share what oracle decks are: Shamanic Journey, Purpose, Attunement, Vision Quest. I mean, can these be more perfect? Look at this woman, this priestess, right, on her beautiful horse, next to her horse. So Vision Quest, Shamanic Journey. And I feel like that's what we'll do as we step into the ceremony, even if it's a short one. That's part of your priestess divine right. I started the priestess training this last Sunday, right? 11 amazing women joined me. And we're going, part of, the first class was all about remembering that the gifts, the psychic gifts, the technology that is our birthright, and yet has been buried under trauma and programming and conditioning. And one of those gifts is being able to travel, right? Being able to take a shamanic journey, a ceremony vision quest, to have that become normalized in your life. That isn't to say that what am I trying to say? That isn't to dismiss the beauty, of course, of going on retreat, of, like I did yesterday, I wasn't in retreat, but going to somebody else to kind of facilitate it for me. All of those things, of course, are powerful. And yet the most powerful thing is for us to remember that we can do that on our own, that we can carve out even a few minutes and have a very powerful session with our soul. Because if we always tell ourselves that, oh, I need more time, or I need it to be a special day, oh, I need it to be when, all these things are in place, then I can do a ceremony for myself, then we're robbing ourselves of the support that we need. And so that's part of what we're doing here, is normalizing all this, not diminishing it, but normalizing it. That yes, you can have a shamanic journey in 5 minutes. You can have a deep insight that creates powerful transformation. And so let's step into this together. I'm reading what Destiny's saying. I began using Christ light like that to clear my body. Beautiful, Destiny. Yes. Mother Mary. Yes. So I invite all of us to take some nice breaths. And just let yourself really settle into your body. Use your body as the sacred vessel that it is. And really bringing your awareness to your pelvis and your hips and your knees and ankles and feet. And let's just take a moment to visualize those roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, deep into the heart of Mother Earth, right? She's another mother, right? The Mother Earth, who's so generous, who's so abundant, who is here partnering with you, with each of us, for your divine mission of planetary healing. And so feel your roots connect with her heart. And just allow your soul to help you release whatever is ready to be released. And I'm inviting you to not have to control it or track it or analyze it or titrate it in any way. Just allow it. If there's something you need to be aware of, you'll be made aware of it. But sometimes it's a gift to not even have to know. So that's going to happen, right? That's going to happen as your roots are connected to your heart. There's already so much releasing happening. And now breathe in that beautiful earth energy up your center column, up, 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 up to the crown of your head. And at the crown of your head, feel that lotus flower, that lotus, right? Opening, spiraling, opening, 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 opening. And your soul, your higher self, is in charge here. I'm not in charge. I'm just facilitating this space. Your own higher self knows exactly what you're ready for. And so now bring your awareness to your heart center. And if it helps to bring the palms of your hands over your heart, go ahead and do that. And in your heart space, as you breathe in, your heart's temple begins to spiral open. And as it spirals open, it creates this magnetic, unified field. And as it spirals open, you visualize this beam of light coming out of your heart right into the earth, like the earth in front of you. And your heart beams a light, and then from the heavens above, a light comes down, just like that image on that oracle card. So there's a spotlight right there. It is beautiful. Notice what color the spotlight is for you. Maybe it's pure white or golden or magenta or different colors. Just notice and know that this spotlight is emanating from your own soul and from the divine, from the universe, and is designed specifically for you. It's infused with the specific light codes, resources, synchronicities, activations, support that you need for your unique path, your unique mission. And so, as you see the spotlight there, if you are willing, step into it now. And so I just see myself stepping into it, my arms open, just receiving that spotlight. And as you receive that spotlight, notice that at your feet, there is an infinity symbol engraved in crystals on the ground that you are stepping on. And your left foot is on the left loop of the infinity symbol, and your right foot is on the right loop of the infinity symbol. And as we stand there together, we're intending to step into that present moment together. We step into that present moment together now. In that present moment together now. And just allow it to unfold perfectly for you. As we step into that present moment together. Allow yourself to be activated, cleared, aligned, attuned in the present moment. And in the present moment, now ask for a message, a word, a symbol, a color, any type of communication from your higher self, from your soul about your divine mission. And again, stay in the present moment. If you don't become conscious of it now, that's okay. Just be open with that mantra, right? Yes, thank you, I accept, I receive. And one of my teachers teaches us that. It's so powerful. Yes, thank you, I accept, I receive. Receive that message. Receive that symbol. Receive that word. And then just finally, welcome the Divine Mother. She is so loving. She has so much love for you, for your path. And just receive a mother's embrace from her. This has nothing to do with your biological mother. This is the divine, sacred mother. There's no agenda. There's just love. Yes. Thank you. I accept. I receive. And we consecrate this moment to the liberation of all beings. So I'm aware of this ripple effect of healing going through all of the grid lines, the ley lines, the grid work of the planet. And we thank all the love that is here. We thank each other, those of you here live, those of you who will watch the replay whenever you watch the replay. We bring the palms of our hands together. Step back into your heart, step back into your body, step back into your environment. We ask your soul and higher self to help you integrate this across all levels of your being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, across all space and time. And we ask your higher self, your soul, to recalibrate your energy body for your everyday activities so that you are grounded and safe as your day unfolds. And just surrounding you in a rainbow blessing. So we bow to each other in our own heart and close this shamanic journey with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. So I'm going to put some spray. Yes, Stephanie. Yes, I can have a shamanic journey in 5 minutes. Yes. And please do not misunderstand. I know you don't misunderstand, but for anyone watching this, that I'm not, because there's such a rush and hurry in our society. Like, okay, let's do this in 5 minutes. That's not what I'm talking about, right? There's times for longer, of course. But it's like not limiting yourself, not using the reasoning that I need more time before I can go in to receive some profound guidance. So thank you, everyone. So I'm just going to pull a quick card for all of us. And I did want to share the priestess cards were from the Priestess Oracle, Priestess of Light. And the Archangel Michael card was from this new deck, Sword of Light Oracle by Radley Valentine. The other one was Sandra Ann Taylor. So let's just do an Archangel Michael card, right? Oh, thank you, Destiny. I do want to let everyone know I have a new offering. October 27th will be the first class. And it's really just integrating all of the other monthly classes I used to do. One thing that I'm really adding is the whole knowing of ley lines and power centers and grid works and the blueprint of the planet and creating new power centers. How do we do that? This is, again, it's one of the most powerful things we can do, but we cannot heal the planet if we are not healing ourselves. It's just impossible. It's not negotiable. It's irresponsible to try that. So let's see what's Archangel Michael have to say. So again, that's October 27th. You can find it on my website, on my Facebook page. I'll put it in the links. All right, what's the message? Okay, this one popped up. Love it. Your prayers are being answered. It says your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in forms you didn't expect. All right, my dears, look at this. The answers are coming. And again, forms you might not expect. So maybe through music, through nature, through dreams, through something somebody else says, like it's coming. So let's ask the angels to like highlight it for you so you don't miss it. Right? So look, I love that. All right, everyone. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you, everyone. It's always such a blessing to be here with you. And I'll be here next week at 2:30, Wednesdays at 2:30 Central. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye, Christina, Destiny, Stephanie, Diane, everyone else who's here who I might not know that you're here, and everyone watching the replay. Bye-bye.